Hello, I am Marieanne the Artsie Crafter. Welcome to my channel. Actually, I'm Sally. You know me from the movie, The Nightmare Before Christmas. I'm here filling in for the Artsie Crafter while she is busy getting ready to introduce her new journal, which I have here in front of me. It's her Halloween journal, and it looks really amazing. I know, why don't we have a look through it before she gets here? Oh no, it's too late, she is already here.
Hello everyone, I'm Marieanne the Artsie Crafter, not the other one. I don't know, you go away for 5 minutes and things start happening, and around Halloween time you can expect anything, and this time my doll decided to come to life and take over the show. So now I've got her out of the way, let's get on with this journal. As Sally already said to you, this is my new Halloween journal. When I say new, I've never made a Halloween journal before. This is the first time. And I wasn't going to be making a Halloween journal because I didn't think I was up to it, because I've had a lot of things going on lately since coming back from my trips. But I wanted to do something that was kind of distracting me from everyday life and get into something that's a bit more fanciful. So I thought making a Halloween journal would be a good therapy for me to just take some time out to myself and create something whimsical for a change. So that's what this one's about. And of course I didn't realize while I was doing this that this brings me back to reminds me of what we've just been going through. If you've seen my last 3 videos, 3 videos ago, I explained that we went away on our holiday, and when we came back, we were away for almost 2 months. When we came back 2 days after, my husband's eldest brother passed away. He was in a nursing home, and we couldn't get back in time to see him before he passed away, and we are his guardians, so we had to, he has no family of his own, so we had to organize his funeral and all his affairs and all that kind of thing. So yes, and then I go ahead and make a journal, and then I make a coffin. I don't know. Anyway, so we'll put that aside. So he was very dear to us. He's like a father to us because he was 22 years older than my husband and 24 years older than me, so he's like a father figure. He had even had the same name as my father, which was kind of confusing at times. But anyway, so I made this little journal, and I did have fun doing it, and I didn't let the world upset me at the moment from just the everyday things that go on in your life. Sometimes they get a bit distracting. So I wanted to make a coffin. I always wanted to make a coffin because I'm not really into horror things, but I do like spooky things and things that are a little bit unusual. I like mysteries and all that kind of thing. So I always wanted to make a coffin, and I don't think making a life-size coffin would have been very very good because you might end up in it yourself. But anyway, so I made this little model, and my little skeleton here, he's not glued in, and I didn't glue the coffin onto the front cover because it makes it a little bit awkward when you're trying to open the journal. This journal here, well, just explain the coffin first. It was quite easy to make, and I'll just let you out there, little Horatio, whatever your name is, and explain how I made the coffin. It was just cardboard that I made into a coffin shape. Once I put the cardboard together, then I just put some glue on, just some white glue, and I put some tissue paper over the top, covered in tissue. Oh, sorry. First of all, I covered in masking tape, and then I put glue on, and I just covered it in tissue paper, and I let it, I used a paintbrush to bunch it all up so you get all these ridges and whatnot, raised areas like that. Then I let it dry, and then I painted it a base color of black, and then I added a couple of different shades of brown and some couple of shades of grey, from dark to medium to light, and let that dry. And then I went over it with my fan brush, and I put on some not only gold but some copper, just to give it a little bit more depth, and that's what you see there. And then I just lined it with some velvet lining, some red velvet lining there to make it nice and soft for my little skeleton friend here to lie in. So that's how I did that one. And so this little journal, he's it's just a little guy, and he's 6 inches wide by 7 inches tall. Why I chose that size, I have no idea. It was just popped into my head at the time when I thought I wanted to hold something in my hand and I didn't want to do a huge journal. So that's the size it ended up. Quite an odd size, I suppose, but never mind. And I split it into 2 sections. So the first section is actually a envelope journal where all the envelopes pop out, and then inside you've got 2 signatures in here, up the top here. I don't know if you can see that. There's 2 signatures in there. So, and then at the bottom here with the tassels, the, what do you call it, binding thread, I just added some little circles and some little beads that I had in my stash, just to add that pop of interest in there. And I love this fabric. This is the Halloween fabric that I bought at my local haberdashery. Spotlight, if you're in Australia, you'll know the Spotlight stores. And then I edged it in some lace. I absolutely love that. So I'll show you through the front section first. Oh, I suppose I should explain the closure here, ribbon closure. I just got some netting material and I just cut it into a ribbon strip, and then I got some of this stuff that you can buy for Halloween. I've put it all away. You know, that pretend stuff that the ghosts wear, that fabric, ghostly fabric, and I just glued it on there, and it came in that color, so that was good. So now I'll show you through the this section first. So open this envelope up, and I did make a lot of cards and that to go inside, but I did miss a few, so you'll have to bear with me. I'll show you as best I can. So this is just a little side pocket here for that one, and I didn't yeah, that's all that is with that one. And this one here has a pocket in here with a little thumb cut out, and on the back here, so that's just a little card. I didn't even back it, and it's got some lace on there. And I wanted something creepy, so I cut the skeleton out. So that I love this one with the big creepy spider on it. And here you've got a little some lace, stiffened lace that I used some texture paste or some gesso, I think I put over it, and then grunged it up a bit. So that's a little tuck spot in there. And this one here is another little pocket, and it has yes, it has a little journal card in here. There, like that. These images here I actually got from the Graphics Fairy, from their Halloween, one of their Halloween kits. This paper here, because this is just book page here, but some of these prints I actually got off Pixabay, free images off Pixabay. So you, and then also some cardstock. And you'll also see that I've used some of my own papers that I've created. This is just a panel. You can add a photo or whatever on there. And then I'll pop you back in there. And this one here, I just got a grave sign I cut out, and cut all the little images out with the skulls and the birds and whatnot, and RIP. And here I've got a little tuck spot of another gravestone, a really creepy gravestone. Popped him in there. So that was a lot of fun. Here's another Graphics Fairy image of spiders. I like spiders, but I don't like them in my house. I have a sign on my door that says, if you come inside, you die. Not very nice, I know. I'm not very friendly with spiders. Outside, that's their domain. I would never harm a spider outside, but inside, yeah, I can't handle it. So they're gone. My husband usually takes them outside for me rather than me doing it. So that's just my little phobia I'm sharing with you today, because it's one of those days, I suppose. And here's a little booklet or a card that pops in there. And this one here is October 31st, of course that's Halloween Day, and I didn't put anything on the back. So to get on with the cover, I think I did 2 layers of a a paper bag, so that's all I needed, and you can see it's pretty stiff because of all the treatment that I put on top. So once again, this time I just used the paper bag, and then I just put glue on it and put the tissue paper straight on top, and I scrunched it all up while the glue is still wet, so I got that textured from it. And then I did the same treat once the tissue had dried. I did the same thing with the painting treatment, and then touching it up with the golds and the copper to give that sort of very textured look. It could look like, you know, bark on a tree, or even a stone effect, you know, like in a crypt. So that's, let your imagination go. So I'll go through this section of the journal, and this is just a little image I got off the internet, and these pages from the graphics fairy, and that's some of this stuff, fabric that I just used some ink in that. I wrote around some of the pages, and I tore the edges, and then I went and used my sewing machine to sew some black thread around the edges, just to give it a frame. And I love this page with the gold. This is some gold webbing fabric that I got, and I thought it went well. And this is a plastic spider, so all I did with him was I painted glue all over him, and I sprinkled some black glitter over him. So I don't think it will, don't know whether it turns out on the camera or not, but anyway, that's what I did. And I made a little side pocket, and there's another image of him, and I just backed it onto some coffee dyed exercise book pages, and that tucks in here. And his spider front leg keeps him sitting in there quite comfortably. This is some baking paper that I grunged up with some paints, and then I did a bit of stenciling on there as well, and then some gold splatters. This is just a little safety pin, I'm going to say. It's not a safety pin at all. It's a paper clip. And this is the other side, and I just put some purple sheer ribbon on the border there, so you know it's a tuck, a flip out, I should say. And on the other side here, I used another stencil, and I just stenciled that image on there, that crazy paving, or whatever you like to call it. Here, I actually got an image from Pixabay with an owl. I love owls, so I had to have an owl. And I just printed this image onto some tracing paper, and it went through my printer. I didn't have to back it with some copy paper or anything like that. It just went straight through, which I was very relieved about. So I just turned it into an envelope, and I just love that crinkly sound. I think most of us do. And this is just a receipt that I got off the internet, and that goes in back in there. Okay. And this cute little cat, I got that off Pixabay, and I just put a witch's hat on top of him before I printed him out, and I stuck him on here. This is a tea bag that I made into a pocket. I sewed around the edges, and then I glued it on, and I put a little bit of gold trim in there. And then this is just one of those cards. I thought it was very neat to have him showing through the tea bag. So that's a postcard. Here's just some, this is just some scrapbook paper, and then here I just drew on a spider web, and I outlined it in black ink, and then I went and I got my glue pot here, and I just went and did spots of glue on there, and I sprinkled some glitter over the top, so that gives you that effect with something a little extra. Put that in here, and then the next page, that's just an image I got off Pixabay, and I put some of this zigzag ribbon on there. And this one here is another spooky image I got off Pixabay. There's just another postcard backed on there in the little side pocket. Then over the side here, these are flowers that I plucked out and used the petals to make just a side decoration on a page. And then I put some that webbing that fine webbing you get for around Halloween time, and I cut out a spider and I put glitter on him. So he's got his web there, and he's collecting things for his web to eat later, or he's just decorating for Halloween, I think, decorating his web. He's got this creepy eyeball and a witch's hat and a pumpkin. So I don't know what he's going to do with the pumpkin, but anyway. And fold that out, and here we go. A little rat, I think he is, and I've got some little ribbon there with some trim on the front. And open that up again, you can see, and this is just a little side tuck and a little witch here. Fold that back over, and there's just a little pocket with a little tag on there. And this one here, I don't know what I've done with the tag. He's gone, I had a tag in there, he's gone walkabout. Anyway, I'll show you. This one is this, I don't know what this off. Oh yeah, it does fit. So there's a tag that goes in here. It's kind of like a belly band, goes straight through. So that's that part there, but he goes in there. And then on the other side, I have this 3D butterfly, and you just, it's holding down this page that flips up and down and out. Some writing space there. So I thought that worked out well. And this is a image, is a stuff of nightmares, or it is for me. So creepy image there. That's from the graphics fairy, and I backed it on. There's more of that webbing fabric, and then this here is just some cotton that I dyed. I used some watercolor paints and grunged it up, and painted it purple and black and grey, and then I put some black ribbon on there. So they're all, where's that go? So it kind of matches all up. Okay, then I even forget how I made my own pages sometimes. Here, this here is those wooden cutouts that you get, like this in a pack, the frames. So I just put some black, painted it black, and then rubbed some of that gold glitter onto it, and framed this image that I got from Pixabay with the two skeletons sitting on a park bench, having a good old laugh, old chuckle there. And here's some of that webbing again, and I just backed this pocket onto some paper, and then edged it in ribbon just so that it's easier to get this a journal card through. And I just put this little tag on there and put some trim on there, bric-a-brac I think they call that some places, and back that on there, and got a spooky scene on the back. And that's just some paper, and this one is just another postcard in there, and this is, and I just trimmed it with some velvet and orange sparkly trim on here. And this paper here is like leather that I painted ages ago. It was a page that I made with using crinkled the page up, and then I used watercolors to give that grungy look. And this one here, I like this one. It's just a picture of a Halloween house all lit up, and it's a flip down, and then you got a spooky spooky pumpkin behind, and of course it's another little pocket, so you put something behind there. So I thought that's a cute little, give you a little bit of a scare. And then this one here, this is another side pocket. But this is going to have something special in here, which I haven't done yet, but we'll be putting a tag in there, but I'll be making the tag with you in an upcoming video, which should be out before Halloween finishes. So, and I just put more of that trim and some glitter and some images on there. This is more of that baking paper that I stenciled up. That's the other side of that. And this is some more paper that I created using a doily. And I stenciled a doily on there, and with some paints and then some golds on there. And this is a little side pocket with a trick or treat tag. And that's the back of that paper. It's very grungy, and I thought it went well with this. This is one I got from graphics fairy, I think. And then this one, little cluster up here, is actually a flower that I made out of tearing up paper into circles in different sizes, and I painted the back one gold, then black, and then the front one gold, and then I put some glitter on the top, and I used a brad to attach it to the lace and these feathers that I had in my stash, and then I glued it onto the page so that you don't have the brad going straight through to the other side. So that was a good way to do it. Another little side pocket here, and this is some trim that I got from a charity shop, from a top or a dress, and it's got spider webbing on it with some gold, so that went really well. And another one of those journal cards, and here I just drew a spider there, and I painted in black, and I put some glitter on there, and then I did some fake splatters on there. I just used the tip of my pen markers, and I just dabbed the splatters on there because I was too lazy to get the splatters out, the paint out, and make them splatters. This is another more of that tracing paper, and this time I just used stamps to put on there after I painted it, and I did some gold splatters on there. And that's the other side. I just left that plain. And this is a cute little image I got off Pixabay with a cute little Halloween cat and his pumpkins. And this is a flip up, and I just got some, that's backing on some paper that I made with my own stencils that I made out of butterflies and just some notebooks. And then here, tucked away, you got trick or treat, little tag in a pocket. And this is actually, this book is about, it's about death. It's a spooky book, horror story sort of thing. Here's another little pocket that I made, and I backed it onto the book page, and then I put it on the book page. And this is a little bat that I made with some texture paste, and I cut it out, and then I painted it black, and I put some gold sparkles on there just as a little decoration. I love this little girl image. I think that was from the Graphics Fairy. It's either that or Pixabay, I cannot remember, sorry. And just backed it on some paper. And this is my fake eco dyeing paper. I used real leaves, but I didn't boil them or anything. I just put impressions on there and used some inks and watercolors and whatnot to give that. And I thought the colors went really well with this journal. And if you haven't seen that one, it's a quick and easy way to do eco dyeing without actually doing eco dyeing. So if you'd like to see that video, that tutorial, I'll leave the link to it in the description box below. And on the other side here, I've got a flip out pocket, not a pocket, envelope. I haven't got my glasses on either. And I just stenciled the inside and put this little tag in there. Actually, this is the little tag that went in that little pocket before. I must have been testing him out to see if he would stay in there. And then I've got a little side pocket below that. And I went and macabre thing I did was because I don't have access to original documents, you know, all those old vintage documents that some people on YouTube making journals, they have access to all those wonderful original documents, vintage documents, and I don't have access to any of those sort of things. So I'm left with, if I wanted them, and I love them, so I resort to making my own fake ones. So, but I'm pretty proud of how I made this, and I love this little death certificate because I like having a bit of sense of humor with it. You know, I don't like being serious at all. So I just wrote this out. I just put death registered in the district of Memorial Gardens at Over the Hill in a state of no return by Grim Reaper, the district register. So the name of the deceased is not so lucky. And I had occupation, flight risk, and then where was he born? Other side of the black stump. And his date of death was the 13th, 2013. Place of death, no return. Cause of death, unknown. And then where and when was he buried? At Hanging Rock. If you an Australian or ever been to Australia, you might know about Hanging Rock is a place down in Victoria where there was a movie made about it, and the legend is that a group of girls, schoolgirls, went on a picnic in these hanging rocks, or these big spooky clump of rocks, huge rocks that you can walk through, like the huge boulders, and they disappeared, and it's all very spooky and scary and mysterious. So that's why I put that there. And because the register signature Grim Reaper, and so yeah, so that's just my little fun with that document, seeing I can't get my hands on original ones, vintage ones that is. I don't want to use modern ones at all. And there's just a little card. I put some paper in there and another little tag there, and left that alone. This is another little paper clip that I made, and this just flips out. And I made this little file folder, and inside I put a to-do list. We can never have enough to-do lists around the place. I'm always making to-do lists. I have dozens and dozens of them sometimes. They're usually on my computer, otherwise I would lose them. Anyway, that's more of that fake eco-dyeing paper. And here is a little pocket, and this time I put that bat fabric on there, bat netting, and then I actually cut out a bat. Don't know, he doesn't really, I should have put him in gold because he doesn't really stand out against the black, but I cut him out of some heavy cardstock, and I put black glitter on him, and then I said going batty. That's me every day, just about going batty. Anyway, there's a cute blackbird. So my mother loves blackbirds. She used to feed the crows until they made too much of a mess. My father put a stop to it because he said sick of cleaning up their mess. Anyway, that was many years ago. Here I made a little belly band, and I just put some elements together on the belly band, and I backed it on some fabric with some of this fabric stuff, the ghosty fabric. And that's then this one here. This time I made the spider web. I just drew it out before I did the belly band, of course. I drew it out, and then I just got some black string and I glued it on to make the spider web. And here's a spider. This is the spider. That's his home now. And I backed it on. That looks like a side pocket, but it's not. I just decided to be fancy on the backing there. So I put that away. And I put a spider on here. These are actually 2 gravestones here that I think you might have seen before. And I put a spider web over the top, and then I put a gold spider, painted a gold spider, and he's got some gold sparkle on him as well. And that's an accident. I dropped the gold spot on the R. Is that what you call a happy accident? And this is more of that tracing paper that I had stamped on. And this time I decided to do a sign, all these spooky places around the world. So they're all cut out, and I wrapped some twine, that black string around it, sort of thing. And that's the back of that, and I've got some a bird stamp on there. And this one here is a little paper clip, and that's the witch's hat that I showed you before that the cat was wearing. So I just used that into a paper clip there, and put witchery there. And then this is a metal watch, and there's a spooky image of 4 witches. And then inside here is another witch, or lady I should say, and she's been caught in a spider web by looks. And that's just a little notebook, and that's that, and that's the end of it. So I'll just pop that back on there. There we go. And that's the end page there. You can fill that in. And of course, I have to show you the back cover. So once I put painted all this up, once I put all the tissue paper and let that dry, I did another spider web on the back, but I used some thicker string. And then of course I had to have another spider, didn't I? So I stuck some of that webbing under there, so it's like she's got her egg or nest of eggs or whatever, a sack of eggs, and I just put some gold glitter over that. I had to do it a couple of times to keep it on, and then I glued it on, and I had to keep a book over the top to make sure that it glued down and it squished down a little bit. So that's that. That's my that's why I haven't been around for a week, because I've been having fun making this journal. And thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that little my Halloween journal and my little Horatio friend here. And I want to wish you all a happy crafty day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye everyone.